So right now we are loading up this little jar here with hyaluronic acid, which your body naturally creates. We are going to infuse the hyaluronic acid into your skin.
So you're plumping up the skin.
So have you ever heard of a vampire facial?
Yes, that's what I want you to do to me.
So the vampire facial is similar.
Do
They will draw your blood and then they separate your blood from your plasma and then they shoot your plasma instead of hyaluronic acid onto your skin and microneedle. A lot of studies have been done that said people felt like they didn't really get much different.
Really?
Yeah. Results weren't really that much different, and so you're going through all of this trouble. The microneedling in general is what makes your skin bleed a little bit, because they're calling it the vampire facial because they're sucking out your blood.
Yeah.
But they're not using your blood, they're using your plasma. Your face just bleeds when you do the microneedle because they're going deeper. But again, we're not going super deep because we are pairing it with all these other things, and we're just trying to keep it nice and mild and basically just, I don't go that deep, no. If I worked with a doctor and I had somebody there who could vouch for it, it'd be one thing, but I keep everything within my... So I'm gonna actually do your forehead first because it's the most painful part. Get it over with, and then when we get to the rest of your face, it'll feel much, much better. We are going to set our little needle at 0.5, which is all you need to get skin rejuvenation.
So that can go deeper?
Oh yeah, we can go, I mean, I could go deeper, but I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, is that it?
So I'm squeezing your forehead to try and push your skin together so that it has a little bit more of a fatty pad so it doesn't hurt as much.
Oh, is that the thinnest part of the face? That's why it hurts?
Yeah. It's just
I feel like it's like a saw. You're like wheeling over my face. Is it a needle or a,
Yep,
like
it's a bunch of little needles that are just poking your face. It's sort of like aerating the lawn. You know, they're just going straight down and straight back up.
It's an interesting way to think about it.
It's creating an intentional wound, so it's not something that you can see. I mean, aside from erythema and a little bit of bleeding that you're seeing right now, which is totally normal, your skin thinks that it's injured. So it sends in all these extra proteins and collagen building proteins in the body that help to rebuild and rejuvenate the skin, even though it's not actually injured. So if you had really deep wrinkles, it would help to kind of smooth out those wrinkles, or if you had acne scarring from picking at your pimples, you know, it'll help kind of build up the spot.
I feel like I gotta sneeze.
That's normal.
Why is that?
There's a nerve. It doesn't always bother everybody, but probably 60% of people, there's a little nerve right around your eyebrow. And if you need to sneeze, that's okay. Just let me know.
Okay. Not yet.
You're actually getting a really, really pretty and normal response. Not everybody bleeds that, like, you know, like...
Am I bleeding?
You're bleeding, but you're bleeding a fairly normal amount. Not everybody does.
So what are you smearing around?
Blood and the hyaluronic acid.
Take it in. So is that kind of like the vampire facial then? Like,
I mean, this part is done exactly the same way, except for instead of me putting hyaluronic acid in, they would be squirting your plasma in.
But like, does the blood get injected in when it gets mixed with?
Oh, a little bit, but...
So that kind of the same thing?
A little bit. I mean, the microneedling is done exactly the same way, so yes, it's pushing your blood kind of back in, but not really.
I don't know if people are gonna want to see this.
Your cheeks won't really bleed like this.
Okay. Should I say warning, bloody?
But actually it'll be really neat, because here I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna show you that it wipes right off and it doesn't look bloody. It's just pinpoint bleeding. So it bleeds in the moment, it doesn't continue to bleed.
So is this good for someone young without wrinkles yet?
It's good for just rejuvenation of the skin. It
like this isn't gonna hurt my skin?
No, and it's not necessarily something I'm gonna say you should do all the time, but if you're doing it for, you know, anti-aging benefits, this is also a really mild form of anti-aging treatment that you can do without going under a knife or doing some crazy strong peel that's gonna make your whole face fall off.
Like, try not to cry.
I'm done with your forehead.
Okay.
I'm gonna wipe off the bleeding so you can see that it's not still bleeding, it's just pinpoint. It looks kind of scary, which actually yours looks kind of awesome. But you can see.
It does look scary.
We're gonna wipe away the blood, and you just are left with a tiny bit of erythema.
Ooh. Does it keep bleeding?
No, it won't.
So what are you wiping it with?
Just a gauze, a wet gauze that I'm going to dispose of.
You don't want to keep that?
Yep. No. So, I mean, a little bit of pinkness is totally normal.
Yeah.
Your cheeks probably won't bleed as much. The forehead always bleeds more than anything else. And if you can get through the forehead, you'll be fine.
So that was the worst part?
Yep, it was the worst part.
Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 5.
5 being, oh my God, that was terrible.
It was like a 3.5.
Yeah. Now, if I had gone deeper.
It was just like, I had to sneeze and like, ooh.
And not everybody gets that feeling, but some people do.
Yeah, so my forehead feels really tight.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's dry.
Is that the, Is that okay to leave it dry?
Yeah, we're actually gonna leave it dry. We'll put some more hyaluronic acid on you before you leave.
Oh, you don't put cream on?
No, we don't want to clog your pores all up.
Oh. I won't lose moisture or
Well,
dehydrate.
we're infusing, and it's supposed to feel tight. You just don't want to clog everything up that we just opened up. So you'll eventually put moisture and cream on, just not right away. Like tonight when you go home and you do your routine, you can put some cream on.
Oh, so you do want me to wash my face tonight?
Yeah, you can, because it's early enough in the day that you can.
Can I also not?
You could
If I
also
wanna leave it
not.
alone?
You could also leave it alone. It's up to you. If it was me, I probably would leave it alone because in an hour or so it's not going to feel as tight anyway. It's just temporary. So you can do microneedling once every month and it will stimulate collagen for up to 28 days. Or you can do a series of 3 that sort of dominoes one onto the other, and it actually increases the longevity of how long your skin will create excess collagen for up to 6 months. So if you were to do a series, I'd say just do 1 series, you know, a year, and then pair it with some other stuff.
Just do it once a year?
A series, so you do 3, and then I would say just do it kind of in the winter time, you know, when you're not worried about exposure to the sun. And then, you know, in the off season, do, you know, a facial, you know, or like a microdermal, or just something different. Or if you want, you can do a series and then do some other things to pair with it, and then to kind of like revamp it back up, instead of doing a whole nother series, just do 1.
So what do you think about people who have their own at-home rollers?
So the main difference between this kind of treatment and the at-home roller, and I have one of those too, those are not going as deep. If you got one from like Rodan & Fields, or most of the ones online are going to be a 0.25. That's not stimulating any collagen. The only purpose of that is to help with product absorption. You have to go to at least a 0.5 to get the collagen production. So 0.25, which is why so many lines sell it, because it's really hard to do any damage.
Oh yeah.
They're just putting product in their skin and forcing it in a little bit deeper, which is essentially what this is doing, but on a deeper level.
So are you going over the same spot?
I'm just making sure I'm getting full coverage.
Okay. Yeah, I had one of those Rodan & Fields ones, but I hardly used it. I'm just kind of
People
scared
either
to.
use them a ton or they don't use them at all. And the thing with
I didn't
those,
really know what I was doing.
right, and that's kind of the scary part with a lot of skincare, is they sell all this stuff and they don't really explain to you how to use them properly. And so another thing with those that is different between this and that is the needles. If you ever look at them, they're not perfectly the same width from top to bottom. They're kind of shaped more like a triangle, so they're a little wider near the base of the roller, and they're a little thinner near the top of the roller. And so when you're applying it to the skin, you're rolling it in and out, so it's kind of opening up your skin more than this, where it's just stamping it straight down. So you can actually cause more damage to the skin with the roller than with this, because of the way that it goes in and out of the skin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're just going to do a little stamping around the eye. So that side of your face, we'll just kind of wipe
Did that
off.
side bleed?
A little, but not like your forehead. You got a little bit here and there, but the forehead's always the worst. The only time I put anything on people when they leave here, aside from hyaluronic, which is what I'm infusing into your skin anyway, is if I know they're gonna be out and about running errands and exposed to the sun, then I'll put a sunscreen on them, because that would be better than...
Yeah, the forehead was
the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's so different though. Like, I've done this on a lot of people, and most people say kind of like you say and how I feel about it when I do it. My forehead is like, oh my gosh, that is awful.
Yeah,
I kind of
like
just might as well skip it, you know?
It was bad.
Night and
it was
day.
bad thinking about it.
Night and day. And then there's one gal that I did. She's just got really thin skin in general. And she said it hurt on her entire face, the same as it did on her forehead. For her, next time, it might be beneficial if we numb her. Because if she's having that kind of reaction with the depth that we're going, which is fairly minimal, can you imagine if she went to like a doctor and they went a whole lot deeper? She'd be really hurting.
So is this depth good for acne scars and acne?
It will be helpful because we paired it with the peel. And it would be helpful in general because it's very regenerating, but it's not going as deep. We're not going as deep as, you know, that you would really want to go to really target acne scarring. It just kind of depends how bad it is.
Yeah.
I think it's always worth trying this way first because there's so much less invasion. It's not as painful or irritating to the skin.
Yeah.
It's always worth trying the more minimalistic approach, in my opinion, before you just jump into the deep end. But
so which number do you do on you?
Honestly, I don't really go any deeper than the 0.5.
Yeah, just be too painful.
I can't on my face, like not my forehead. I'll go a little. I might go to like a 0.75 around my mouth. You know, just where I'm starting to get a little bit of the smile lines.
Yeah.
Or on my upper lip, just because I can see that one day that will be a problem based on
and this helps
faces
with that
I make. Yes.
Does this help stop wrinkles or?
Stop wrinkles? No, nothing will stop them. There's a lot of things to prevent them and slow the process down. Everything we do really is prevention. And really, you should look at it like, I say this to myself to try and make myself feel better about it. You should look at your wrinkles as a good thing.
Yeah.
You're lucky enough to still be alive.
Yeah.
You know, you're lucky enough that you got to live to see wrinkles, because some people don't make it that long, you know?
It's a good way to look at it.
So, if you're feeling down
and there's smile lines.
Yeah, because you had good years.
Yeah.
You know, you have to spin it to make yourself feel better about it sometimes, because when you're in this industry, we tend to really focus on it and get like a little.
Gonna stop them.
Well, and we spend too much emphasis and effort on our appearance, and there's so much more to life than how our faces look, you know? So yes, it's a big deal, and we want it to look as nice as we can for as long as we can, but you know, there's only so much that can be done without getting really aggressive about it, and it's not a bad thing to age. You're lucky if you get to age. Some people would be happy to be so lucky, you know?
It's beautiful. So true.
All right, so your base is all clean right now. I'm actually gonna wash it one more time just to get all of the excess gunk off of it. And then after that, I'm gonna cover your face in hyaluronic acid.
Oh, good.
One more time, and then I'm gonna use a cold, it's like a cold.
How was that?
I'll use a cold little ball on it because it helps with the redness and it feels good.
That sounds good. Yeah, it kind of like burns.
Tingles, yeah.
Yeah.
The cold ball will help. It stings.
Or face washer.
It does. This is a really gentle cleanser, so.
Is that the Hormetic one?
This is a big reason why we don't really put a lot of stuff on the face right after, because it's irritated.
Yeah, and the wiping hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, we'll lighten up. So to cool all of it down so you're not you're on fire. Take our little ball here.
Ooh, where did you get that?
from heaven. You can order them online.
Amazon?
This came when I took over this place. The gal that I bought all my stuff from, she already had it, so I didn't have to buy it. You could type in like globe, like skin globe on Amazon.
Do you use it on you?
I don't here, because most of the time when I do my treatments, I'm not here. I bring my stuff home and do it there, and then this is not something I remember ever to take home with me. But I would, because it does feel good.
Yeah.
Ever heard of a jade roller?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, you can.
I actually just ordered one.
I'm gonna order a couple of them for here, because you can put them in the fridge and do the same thing that I'm doing with this.
It feels the same?
This probably stays cold for longer.
Okay.
But essentially it would feel similar. I mean, it just rubs on the skin.
So what's the benefit of a jade roller?
From what I have read, there's not a ton of benefits. It's for
Is it like mainly the massage?
Inflammation. It can help with lymph node drainage. So you would start here and you kind of roll out with it. They say it can help with dark circles, because if you put it under your eye, you're kind of like draining that blood that pools under the eye. I don't know if I believe all that, but it certainly feels good when your face is hot. You're being so young, not going to probably notice it as much as somebody older than you would, but your skin will still look good. It makes your pores look smaller. It's good for fine lines, it's good for the pigment, especially because we mix it with that kojic acid and peel. You're just gonna look really pretty.
Good.
And the redness
it wasn't so bad. Now that I'm done with that needle.
Yeah. You can always numb your face before if you want to. If you're gonna get one, send me a picture so that I can approve yay or nay.
Where do you get them? CVS?
I actually got one that I used for some laser hair removal that I had done and an IPL treatment that I did at Meyer of all places. I had the pharmacist tell me which one to get.
Okay.
And he picked one out. It was like a 4% lidocaine, which is as strong as you can get over the counter. And it was more like an all-natural one, not a bunch of chemicals put in it. And he was like, just put this on beforehand. And so I put it on for, well, I only allowed about 20 minutes, unfortunately, because I was running late. But then they didn't have anyone right after me, so they knew that I was a big fat baby when it came to pain. So they let me sit for another 20 minutes with it on. The demarcation line.
Very red.
The demarcation right here between your neck and your face.
So no massage during this facial.
No. I mean, I suppose we could. I could work that in somehow.